Hello, myself Ramkrishna here. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. City creation, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is future creation. In future creation, basically, one of the person told that basically one of the political person told, sorry, we can't afford Sunil Nair expense. Then basically the one of the satellite person told that basically we can't basically afford the expense of India states basically. So they basically started telling that basically India basically we can't finish. Then basically the satellite political people told that basically if you can't afford the India state basically few states basically, then we can give you the list of states basically. Then the political people basically started doing the discussion with the group who actually created the states. They started basically the doing the calculation of each and every states basically. Calculation means it's a calculation only basically. So one of the person to the Goa basically is a liquor king. Then basically they started doing the Gujarat comparison, and one of the person told that Gujarat basically lots of rich people basically are staying in Gujarat, and basically you can say the money basically is controlled by the Gujaratis basically, because here lots of businessmen basically are from Gujarat basically. They are basically Gujaratis, big businessmen basically. Then he told that that also basically we can't afford basically, because if money is not there, then basically how basically India is going to do the business basically with the world basically. So we can't afford this also basically. Then basically they told that basically Gujarat also basically it's very difficult to give to the satellite group basically. Then basically they started calculating the Gujarat calculation basically. Gujarat basically is doing this, that, each and every investment basically is there. Permanent blood cells is created. If that Gujarat will end, then basically the lots of things is going to affect this, that, each and everything basically they started doing the calculation. So they dropped the plan of Gujarat also basically. Like this basically, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, and Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, then basically the Maharashtra, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Sikkim basically now, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and West Bengal. So these all are the states basically. Each basically states are, one of the person told that basically IT industries basically came from West Bengal basically. IT industries basically came from West Bengal. That is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose basically, who created the IT internet basically. IT internet, and internet equal to construction internet basically. Because internet equal to what basically? One of the person asked the question. Internet equal to what? Internet equal to set of countries and set of states and set of cities creation basically. So that is equal to internet basically. And that city basically is equal to data basically. The reason text box equal to cities basically. That's why. So it was very complicated. One of the person told that yeah, that basically we can't, because if West Bengal will end, then basically the IT will end basically. So IT basically nowadays basically it's a digital world basically. So we can't afford that. Like this basically each and every people basically started doing the calculation basically, that we can't afford this, we can't afford this, we can't afford this, we can't afford this. But they have to give few states basically. One of the satellite person told that basically we have to give few states basically. So they started calculating basically. They told that basically which state basically we can, like this basically connects to like this basically. One person basically is not having money, and basically he started calculating where yeah, I can't afford this basically, because whatever thing basically it's very necessary na basically. For due to that basically we can't leave basically. Due to that basically we can't stay basically. That basically we can basically purchase, and then basically rest of thing basically we have to ignore. This is also like that basically. So one of the person wrote that which state basically is so basically important that basically India basically will die basically if that state is basically getting end. So in this basically the internet area basically that is West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh example also taken. Haryana example also basically. Haryana basically is connected with the lots of businessmen basically across the Canada, across the USA. Lots of businessmen basically are there. So NRI money basically is coming from the Haryana also, one of the Haryana also basically you can say. Then basically the Himachal Pradesh also is basically connected with the mountains area. Mountain means you can say it's uh, Himalaya mountain is there basically. One of the percent of the Himachal Pradesh basically. Himalaya mountain in which state? So three basically spread across 30 Indian states basically. So you can just imagine basically up to what level dangerous thing is basically. So purely balancing basically. So one of the person said these all states basically we can't afford basically. Because it's connecting to the Himalaya, and Himalaya basically story basically we have already taken. What is Himalaya story? So this basically story this states basically we can't afford basically, because that is connecting to the balancing system basically, and we also basically don't know that how the India country is balancing. Sorry, how the India country is balanced by the whole world basically. The reason a few people told that basically we have divided India country, the world basically into 11 parts. This, that, each and everything basically they started calculating basically. Then they told that basically which state basically is so basically if we the states will get, and basically then basically we can stay basically without that state also. Like this the calculation basically started. The political people, because political people has created the states na basically. So if political people has created the states, then they only know basically which state basically they can stay. And few people told that basically in medicine also basically lots of liquor are used, lots of wine, rum are used, and due to that only the medicine basically is getting validity basically, expiry date basically is based on that wine only. So you can just imagine basically each and every states basically has created their value only basically, because they know that basically in future basically lots of state basically can end also basically, that type of situation also basically can come basically, that connect to the expense of India basically, that connects to expense of India basically. If expense of India basically cutting will start happen basically, then basically they have to finish the state basically. So one of the satellite person told that basically we can't afford your expense basically India. So they told that basically we need few states basically, that basically you only basically finish or basically give us to basically we can finish basically. We can't afford this many states energy basically. So so the topic was this basically. The topic was this. Expense of Sunil R. Nair. Then basically the satellite group connected and they told that basically we want to know the expense of India country basically. So they basically started calculating. Then they told that basically we basically can't afford this many states basically. So you have to give few states to us basically. So start calculating the states basically, which without that state also basically you can have your India country basically. So they basically started calculating. They actually have to do the calculation only basically, that how basically the states basically can be calculated. So they basically started calculating this, that, each and everything basically they started doing the calculation. This, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. So from Sunil R. Nair expense basically of the personal life and the professional life, personal life basically, the calculation of Mumbai city we calculated, and then basically the satellite group told that basically we basically want the total expense basically total expense basically of the India basically. So that expense basically we can't afford basically. So you have to do some cutting basically of the India expense basically. So next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.